Over the summer, world-renowned street artist Banksy put up an interactive exhibit called Dismaland Bemusement Park. One of Edinboro's own had 2 exhibits featured in this project. I'm now joined by Dietrich Wegner to talk about his pieces. Before we get into your pieces, just how were you approached to be in such a big project like this?
Well, about 6 months ago, Banksy's representatives contacted me through email, and I thought it was spam, so I instantly deleted it. And it was a very simple email. They just asked, is this direct email contact for Dietrich Wegner? Banksy wants to get a hold of you. And I kept deleting the emails over 3 weeks until I finally responded. And then I got a very nice personal message from him.
And with that personal message, what were kind of the emotions running through your mind when you're going to be featured in a Banksy exhibit?
You know, I keep getting asked that, and I don't have a good answer because I was in disbelief, and I don't think it really hit me that I was really working with Banksy until I came back from England for it. So I just was going about the normal business of setting up a show, answering questions, signing contracts, not treating it like anything different because it just wasn't real in my head.
Wow. And let's talk about those exhibits you put in. One that is being featured very heavily and is even on some of the Dismaland posters is the cloud play set.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about what you were thinking with this.
Well, that's kind of an old piece for me. It's also my most heavily shown piece, and it was kind of a response to our post 9/11 sort of culture with how we've done international diplomacy and how we've really used a lot of force to kind of keep ourselves safe. And I thought that wasn't really a sustainable course of action. So I thought there was a contradiction in how we're trying to be safe through force. So I wanted to make an image that was a contradiction and sort of take a mushroom cloud, which is the biggest symbol of destruction that we've made, and combine it with the safest place one can go, a childhood playhouse, and sort of cram them together to make a contradictory image that makes you question safety and force and what the relationship between those two things are.
Wow. And the other piece you have in there, the tattooed infant with all these company logos, what was the idea behind that piece?
The origin of that was when my wife was pregnant with the first kid. Before the child was even born, we kept getting all kinds of advertisements that were just bombarding us. They must have, I don't know, we were going to a birthing class, so they must have somehow put us on a list of expectant parents. And they were really disturbing advertisements that weren't just selling you a product. They were really trying to sell you lifestyles and a sort of a set of ethics. And so I really just wanted to make an image that was sort of a meditation on how our identities sort of evolve and how we declare them and what corporations have to do with that.
Wow. And you got to experience Dismaland. Tell us about just everything that is there being there. What is that experience like? What's
most striking, I think, about Dismaland is that it's not a show as much as it is an experience. You know, most art shows you go to, you're a viewer looking out at artwork. You're not really part of the artwork. But at Dismaland, not only are there some things that are experiential, there are activities you do, but some of the pieces, Banksy has even said, of his pieces aren't complete until the viewer is taking a selfie with them or interacting with them. There's a piece that's a bench. You know, he doesn't see that piece as complete, I think, unless you're sitting on it. And so it's really an experience. And it's also, all those individual works really meld into the sort of one piece that is Dismaland, which is sort of unique. I wouldn't normally describe any art show like that. So I guess that's it, the fact that it's an experience. Yeah. And there's so much work there. I mean, there's 59 artists, I think. They must have added like 13 last minute, because when I arrived, they told me there was 40-something artists. But there's so many different compartmentalized spaces. It's really a show that it is about 15 different shows. And it's just incredible. You could spend, what's unfortunate is you get a ticket for only half a day when you go visit, and you could be there for weeks, really.
Wow. And for you personally, do you have any future projects in the works?
I do. I'm going to be in a solo show at the Erie Art Museum in 2016. Okay. I set that up 3 years ago and just cleared my slate to sort of really work on that. And I've been saying no to lots of opportunities, except when Banksy called me.
Hey, you can't say no to Banksy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Yeah. Thank you.
And if you would like to see more of his pieces, I believe you have a website.
Yes.
Go check out that website, and thank you for tuning in.